the sad part is I don't know how many members of his staff have become ill and had accidents. It's just
I know.
I don't know what
tragic.
it is.
Or
It is tragic.
an unfortunate plane crash. What a
Yes.
shame it would be if your
Yes.
plane was to crash.
If the guy that started a rebellion against your country that runs your private military were to be in an accident, yeah.
Oops. Yeah, accident, right?
Just for the record, I'm a big fan of Russia, and Putin's a great guy.
Hey, everybody. It's the Williams Brothers podcast.
I'm Gar.
I'm Steven.
I'm Neil.
I'm Shaler.
Hey, here's a question.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Do we have a topic?
I thought we were doing, what was it Neil had?
I think we're going to talk about the future.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
can talk about that.
About the future.
And the past, and what you thought the future was going to be in the past.
Exactly. So imagine what life might be like in the year 2000.
Wow.
Let's say you're in 5th grade, maybe, or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
Maybe.
Remember every time you'd put your hand on a calculator, you would punch in 2000 minus your birth year to figure out how old you were going to be in the year 2000?
Yeah,
And you'd
I
be
do.
like, man, I'm going to be so old.
And I was that old. I ended up being that old in
Yeah.
2002. That was the crazy thing. It actually worked.
I don't know about y'all, but when I got a hold of a calculator and flipped it upside down, I would put 58008 and then flip
Right.
it back over. And
Right. That was
Giggle.
the coolest thing ever.
And for anyone born after the year 2000, a calculator is
It's not just an app on your phone.
right. That's
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it 7734 that spelled hell?
Yes.
That was the one.
Oh, yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah, you
Man.
could put a bad word on the calculator.
77345 if you want to make it family friendly. So
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Yes,
I see.
that's right.
I
Shell.
see. Shell. Okay.
Yeah, Shell. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hello
no,
was the
hello.
other one. Yeah. 07734. Yeah.
Whatever.
if I ever knew that one.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
gotta
Well, that
find
was
me
a
a
great
calculator
show.
now.
That's right.
Yeah, I think your phone might flip upside down. If you did it upside
Yeah.
down, your phone might just fix
Yeah.
the screen, you know?
You don't get the
Right.
same thrill when you just type it into your texting, you know.
Right.
Go,
True.
I typed a
Yeah.
bad word. Not the same.
This machine that only does numbers, I created a word.
A bad
Amazing.
word.
Right.
I got to just do it on my phone now just to see what it does.
To see what it spells.
Yes.
I think it still does the same thing. I'm not sure.
No, well, sort of, because the 4 is like a real 4 with a triangle.
Yeah.
4, not a square 4.
Not as much fun.
Not near
And
as.
the
And the
sevens,
7s are slanted in a proper way. So
Doesn't look right.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
The old LCD screen looked a lot better.
oh
Yes.
yeah. I remember the first calculator Dad had. It wasn't even LCD. It was the
LED?
LED. It was LED. Yes. And it was all it did was add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It might have done a power or something like that. It was a $300 calculator back in the day.
Man. Yeah.
It was the size of a small room.
Yeah.
No, not really. Not really. It wasn't really.
No, but I remember playing with it and trying to prove it wrong, right? So I'd like punch in numbers
Yeah.
and try to prove it wrong, and it was never
Couldn't
wrong.
know the answer to this.
I know. Right. Dad, I found a flaw in your $300 calculator.
Call
like
Texas Instruments.
It's like $1,000 back then for this machine.
Man.
Too funny.
Funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. So what age do you want to think about what we thought 2020 was going to be like? Like when we were elementary school kids?
Yeah, middle school, elementary school, whenever you were at that age when you could really fantasize about, you know, because you're watching all the cartoons and Star Trek and $6 Million Man and all that stuff that really feeds your imagination.
What was the Sea Lab show on Saturday mornings where they were under the ocean and there was like a circular thing they could jump into the water, but they were already underwater.
Man.
So that
I
was
remember.
super cool.
Is that
Okay.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or was that a different thing?
It was different. It was like Sea Lab 2000 or Sea
Yeah.
Lab something like that. And I remember seeing that and thinking, wow, that's what it's going to be like. That is called Sea Lab 2020. No, could it be?
I don't know. See, yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. 1972.
And I remember thinking about how cool it would be that in the year 2020, we could live underwater and dive down there and swim with the dolphins or whatever and have a friend dolphin down there and stuff. I just thought that was the coolest. And I was pretty sure that was like accurate. That was going to happen.
Sure, of
By
course.
2020. Why not?
Yeah.
But then I guess, when you look at the raw economics of it, why would you do that? How can you make money doing that? There's no money in that. Of course, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I just don't remember it because I was way too young for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't remember, but
You remember
when I was-
Sequest probably, or what's the one with the flying submarine? That was earlier.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Was that-
I think
that
it
called?
was Sequest, actually. Maybe.
That was awesome. Yeah, the flying submarine was the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah, they didn't use it nearly enough.
Definitely before my time.
So our Sea Lab 2020 made it through 13 episodes.
Wow.
13
it?
whole episodes, and that's it. Yeah.
Oh, episodes.
Episodes.
Not seasons.
Episodes.
I guess there's only so much you can do down there. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's like 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like half a season back then because there were like 30 episodes a season back then. That's crazy.
It's due to come back. I think that needs to be a thing.
Yeah, me
Sea
too.
Lab 2070 or something. I don't know.
Right.
So I don't know. When I was a kid, I don't know if I really thought about the year 2000 specifically and what it would be like. I just remember watching shows like Buck Rogers and watching Battlestar Galactica and thinking, I can't wait to have my own personal like spaceship that I can fly through space. That was the thing for me. And do y'all remember when, do you remember in the den, we had that one cabinet that went into the garage? It was like you open the door on one side, it's the den, and there's a door on the other side of the garage. And I remember spending many, many hours inside that cabinet because I was so small I could fit, pretending like I was in a spaceship flying around and stuff, So I was prepping, I was preparing for my future as a Battlestar Galactica Viper pilot.
Yeah, that cabinet was for wood, firewood.
Right. Yeah.
But, it was the best thing ever. It was a secret compartment. It was a way to escape into the garage without anybody knowing you're there. You could get in there and listen in on what was going on in the den.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and that house was great because when we would go in our rooms and fly our spaceships, we could talk to each other with the intercom. We would take our desk chair upside down, and that's how you could steer the
Right.
the
I forgot about
spaceship.
that.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
You had to
Wow.
land on the planets and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have enough money for toys, so we just flipped our desk chairs upside down.
That's right.
We had Depression era parents, so it was like, make your own toys. You can figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Make
Get
your
some
own
tin
fun.
cans in a box.
Yeah.
Here's a stick for your laser gun.
I was always making styrofoam spaceships out of those meat trays. Mom would keep everything, so
Yeah.
you take the 2 meat trays and put them together, and then you cut a little door in it, and that was the spaceship. You could put
I
little
forgot
windows in it and
about that
stuff.
because that was like the Star Trek lander or something. I mean, that's what
Right.
it looked like with the angled front.
Like the shuttle or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that would
shuttle.
Take them down to the planet. Yeah,
I did the same thing with the egg cartons because I thought all those little, things on the bottom look like little rockets or whatever. So I would
Oh, right. Yeah.
do it that way. Yeah.
That's the best we could do. It was hard times, kids. It was hard times.
Right. And none of that stuff's materialized. None of that's materialized yet. We don't have our own personal spacecrafts or any of that stuff yet. But
No, I didn't ever think about spacecrafts, but I always thought about like flying sub would be the best because you can be in the water and just jet off into the air from the water. That was the cool. I don't even think they have a flying sub now, do they?
If they do, they don't talk about it. That's the
Right.
conspiracy show.
Classified.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
yeah.
come back to
right.
that next time we
Right.
do a conspiracy show.
Yeah.
But they should. That would be super cool to have a submarine where you can just take off into the air Talk about surprising the enemy. That would be like the best. Got a submarine off the port bow. What? It's flying.
Wow.
Oh my God.
We're done for. Just shut it down. We're done. We knew you guys had that.
Right.
We'd have given up a long time ago.
Exactly. But that and the C-Lab thing, I was pretty sure that was going to be the future. Like when we got to 2020, there was no doubt in my mind we were going to be living in these C-Lab things underwater. But
And the space shuttle too. So Steve and I went to Huntsville, the Huntsville Space Center, as young boys with grandma and grandpa, and they showed a mock-up of the space shuttle. So I was pretty sure it was going to be like, hey, go to the moon this weekend. What do you want to do? Because that they actually, we had a space shuttle after seeing this little, this little mock-up of it. They actually had a space shuttle, but it never quite got to, just where it's a leisurely weekend. Let's go to the moon and hang out.
Right.
yeah, like a real shuttle. Like you just wait in
Yeah.
line at the shuttle stop
Exactly.
and you
It's
get
just
on
a
the
shuttle.
shuttle
Right.
and you go to the moon. I don't know why you would go to the moon, really. I mean,
Yeah, not much
nothing
going
there.
on.
But I just read something today on Facebook, so it's probably not true. But it was a quote from William Shatner about when he went into space. I don't know if you've read it, but he says something like, he spent all these years on this show about, going to unknown worlds in outer space and exploring the galaxies and the universe. He said when he got up into space, instead of feeling that excitement and thrill of being in space, he felt a sad, like grief come over him at the fact that everywhere he looked was death. Everything was dead in the entire universe except for Earth. And there was this one place where there's life, and the only place there could be life, and it made him tore him up. He said it was like just terrible, like grief over the fact that this place is the only place we can live, and so we better take care of it. And then, I guess he landed again, and everything was fine. But he was talking about, I spent all these years talking about leaving Earth, and everybody keeps thinking about what it'll be like when we go to Mars or whatever. But they need to think about like taking care of where they are now and not having to go to Mars, because it's not going to take, Mars is not going to be.
So what I'm hearing
friendly.
is that he does not believe in Vulcan. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't think so. I think he's been talked out of the whole, USS Enterprise happening even. So
What a letdown, though, because he spent like 6 years everywhere he went. There was someone that
Exactly.
spoke English and looked a little bit like him,
Yeah.
Right.
and then to find out it's all a sham.
right, exactly. He goes up there, doesn't even really get into space much. Just probably into barely even into orbit. He's like, no,
Right.
nope, not doing this. Never mind.
When did he go to space?
He went. I don't know. He was one of those billionaires or millionaires, whatever he is, that went up for a few seconds in those.
Okay,
Yeah, the Blue Origin. They went
Yeah.
to the edge of
Oh,
space
okay.
or something like that.
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Star Trek, I was pretty sure might happen one day, but it's set in 2265.
Yeah.
Is that
So
the star date for that?
that's the year. The actual
Oh, the year.
Earth year
Yeah.
would be 2265. So
I still
still-
think that's possible. 2265.
do you think they're going to find Vulcans out there and Other
I don't know. I mean, they'll find us before we find them.
Romulans? You think?
Yeah.
I like the idea of thinking that people that everybody thinks that aliens are advanced and way smarter than we are, but I like the idea of thinking that they're just stupid and they're not that smart, And if they do get here, they're not going to really be able to figure things out. That would just be kind of fun. It would be a surprise to everybody.
Maybe we're the smart ones and we're going to be the ones that discover them.
Right, that's true too. We could, yeah. Either that or life on another planet is like some sort of amoeba or something and doesn't talk at all and have eyes or any of that stuff, and that won't be very exciting either.
No.
No.
So what was the first time y'all ran into something, a technology or something that awed you, that you thought, oh my gosh, we are now living in the future?
That's happened over and over again.
Yeah.
Like when we got our first Commodore VIC-20, and you could type in code, and this is like the most basic of basic code, and it would make the thing change color, make the TV change colors. And then you could even like type in a series of things and create a Pong type game that you could play on it. And then you could save that onto a cassette tape. And I mean, that was mind blowing to me at the time that you could do that at home and sort of like build your own game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it had the instructions on exactly what to type in and exactly what that was going to look like when you got through it. If you did one thing wrong, nope, not happening.
Right.
That, and then, I mean, gosh, now, like we've got a Google Home. So we've got the little Google Home screen. We got light bulbs and speakers and stuff like that. So anywhere in the house you are, you can just say, hey, Google, turn off the light. And then, she'll turn the light off.
Your light just turned off.
She did. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, turn on the light.
And now Google is not turning on the light. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Oh, there we go. All right. It had to go all the way to California and back.
Yeah, exactly. Space. It went to space.
Went to space, right. Went to space.
But you could tell her to like turn up the temperature. You can ask her what the weather is outside. I mean, just what it's like. You don't even have to. You just ask, and the information is there now. Whereas before you had to go find it. You had to watch TV, Weather Channel, or before that you had to look in the paper to see what the forecast was, or have a thermometer and go outside and look at it. Yeah. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, there's so many things today that make you think we're in the future. And I remember one time, you asked when it kind of hit you. It hit me years ago. The kids played baseball, and I went to Hawaii for a Navy thing, and I had a cell phone. It was probably one of the first cell phones that I had. It was about the time people started getting cell phones. And the coach from Matt's team called to say that practice was being canceled due to the weather. And he called me on my cell phone in Hawaii, and practices was in Virginia. And I just remember just being mind boggled that the coach just called me, It rang in Hawaii. It just blew my mind. Of course, now it's nothing. Now you can, everybody has in their pocket a device where they can call anywhere on the planet virtually, anytime, almost free. So it's just, it's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When the first iPhone came out too, that first iPhone, they promoted it they didn't really tell you everything it did, because I think it did so much that there's no way they could have advertised it all. So they just told you like the music, it's like an iPod, but it's also a phone. Mm-hmm. It's a cell phone or an iPod. So that's what you knew about it. But you didn't know it had GPS, and it could tell you where you are at any given moment. I mean, that to me, that was the best, because so many times I would be headed out to an event, going somewhere in the, outside of Atlanta somewhere, and having no idea where I am, and having to call home and say, hey, I'm at this street and this street. Can you tell me, can you MapQuest it or something? But then when the iPhone came out and you could actually just stop and look at your phone, and there's where you are, and it would tell you how to get where you're trying to go. It wasn't great, but it was way better than calling somebody and asking for MapQuest or printing out a MapQuest, and looking at it. So that blew my mind. I was like, how do they put GPS in this phone? And they're not even telling anybody it's here. It's just here. It's not even in the ads or anything.
Yeah.
And that used to be a whole separate thing back then. A GPS was something you bought and plugged into your cigarette lighter and stuck to your front, window or whatever. But then it was on your phone, just absolutely free. You just add it in. They didn't even mention it, It was amazing to me.
Yeah, there was no traffic on GPS, at least the first ones. There was no no indication of what was going on the road. It was just, here's how you go to get there. So
and here's where you are. Here's the blue dot.
Yeah, and the phones, we could talk a whole show about phones, but phones are just so incredible because, as you said, they keep adding technology to them. And, old school technology, you had a dedicated switch for anything you wanted to do. If you had an AM FM radio, you had to switch from AM to FM. There was a dedicated switch. There was one for the volume and the tone, and that's all you got. But now with everything being digital, you can just put an app and, you need 27 more switches. Well, here they are on the screen, whatever you want to
Right.
do with it. So
Yeah, exactly.
It's just mind boggling to old people like us.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed by all of it. So I think back to 1980, and we had a telephone in the house. And just the fact, I mean, I know this is just silly to most people, but just the fact that you could sit in our house and you could talk to virtually anyone in the world, right?
Yep.
If you knew a 10 or 12 digit phone number, whatever it took to get there, just that alone, before cell phones, before all the other stuff, just that alone is just pretty fascinating, right? And now it seems like technology is just moving so fast. There's nothing we can't do, right? I mean, if you can just imagine it, we're doing it's outrunning our ability to consume it and use it and find a useful purpose for it,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it is getting to that point where it's
Yeah.
moving
I mean, it's
so
just
fast.
it's going that fast, and it's going to be interesting to see where that lands. I mean, I'm hopeful for it. I'm excited about it. I gotta believe that at some point it's going to outrun us, and we're going to go, whoa,
Yeah.
let's slow that one down a little bit, right? Because that could destroy us all. I don't know if it will, but there's just nothing we can't do now.
Right. Right.
Now I've got this, piece of plastic and glass that I carry around with me every day. Cell phone. I can do everything with this. Any answer I want about anything in the world, I can have it in 10 seconds. That's just
Crazy.
it's kind of like it's outrun my ability to use it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember, I guess it was 1991, 2, when AOL came out?
Oh yeah.
And it was very frustrating to use because it wasn't that frustrating at first because you were just excited that there's anything that you could, because you would go to AOL and it would dial in this number and attach to, and that was mind blowing. It can just dial a number, whatever this number, we don't even know what the number is, but it dials this number and then connects to a server somewhere, and then you're connected to the internet.
Yeah, and I remember you had to, you were on the phone line, right? So nobody could talk on the phone if you were on the
right.
internet.
Right.
So
yeah.
that was a big deal.
And you pick the phone up and you hear, and you're just like, okay, I guess I can't talk on the phone right now.
And then I had some friends who got like dedicated, phone lines for the internet.
Right.
And this,
Right,
like,
that was serious.
like broadband internet. And they're just like, what in the world would you need, like a Cat 5 cable in your house for internet all the time? Like, what are you doing? And that's what I asked my friends. What are you doing on the internet? And they're, because surfing the internet was very foreign. At the time, you would go to it to find a piece of information. And after that, it was just sort of like, okay, I found that. And so surfing the internet wasn't really intuitive. It was really more like, okay, what's next,
Yeah.
So it took a while to get that figured out.
Right. I think the first time I thought that we were kind of living in the future and I was truly amazed was it was probably ninth grade, band trip down to Disney. We went to Epcot, and this was not long after Epcot opened, this few years after Epcot opened. And they had in the World Showcase, which is the area where they have all the different countries represented and you can go from country to country, they had these 2 or 3 little kiosks around there. And as I recall, they had a touchscreen monitor in there, which was crazy, right? And you touch the screen and it would show you where you were located on the World Showcase. And then there was a button or a virtual button for reservations, and you touch that, and then somebody's face appeared on the screen, and you could do reservations for a restaurant, right? And I was amazed that I am talking to someone, and they can see me, and I can see them. I mean, that blew my mind.
I remember Dad, the first time I did a video chat with him, because, I have to bring Dad up every time. he tried to talk to him, and he was so busy looking at himself in the little screen, making faces and being silly. It was so funny. He couldn't concentrate on talking to me. I think I was helping him with it was the monthly call to help him with his Visa bill. Figure out how to download it and print the bill so he could mail it off.
Right.
And he kept looking at himself and making faces. It was so funny.
That's funny.
It was awesome.
I remember when Dad was at Goodwill, his manager at Goodwill, and some new leader came in and they put computers in everyone's offices.
Oh, right.
That was the most, we heard about that for a long time. That was the most ridiculous thing ever in the world to spend money on these computers, which to his credit, I don't think they used them. They were there, but it took a while for him to start using them. But that was crazy.
Yeah.
To him.
They're all just going to be wasting their time all day on the computers instead of doing work.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Typewriters are just fine, thanks.
One of my first jobs, I was working with a new version of Windows. I think it was Windows 3.1. So that'll date me pretty well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the IT department, and my boss comes by and goes, "It's a toy. It'll never catch on."
So of all the 70s or 80s sci-fi shows, and I think I already know Steve's answer to this, but which one did you think was most likely to be our future? I know Steve was talking about the...
Yeah, C-Lab that would have been awesome.
I mean, I guess one thing, too, as you look at, and I didn't think about this at the time, but when you look at things like Star Trek, and Captain Kirk is sitting in his chair, and someone brings him this tablet that he has to read and sign, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's the iPad there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
the little communicator
tricorder
that they used, that's the phone here.
Right.
So there's so many things that I guess they had the idea that something would be, something could be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's amazing is how many things actually occurred after the show, back when it wasn't even like we hadn't even been to the moon yet. And they had this show out, and since then we've had the space shuttle, we've got rockets that land back on Earth again after they take off. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Well, that's what I think sci-fi inspires the future technology.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they get these ideas from, is from sci-fi shows. So.
Well, even talking computers. So they used to, on the Star Trek Enterprise or whatever, they would say computer, blah, 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 and it would talk back, and it would just be amazing. And now, if you've got Google or Alexa or whatever it is, it's just everyday thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I wonder if it wasn't for Star Trek, what shape everything would have taken.
Right.
Like, would it be completely different? Or
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my transporter.
Me too, and my phaser. I want a phaser.
Yeah,
you want a phaser?
I want to set it on stun.
Okay.
And I want all the doors to slide open right before I get to them.
Yeah,
slide
right.
open and close. Like
Right.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
fridge
Make
and
that
all
noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be good. I want to dress like they did. I really like that.
You can do that.
Polyester look.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I like how
There's a whole convention of people that do that.
Oh, okay.
So.
Never mind. That's
I
all
don't know
right.
what it is about the future, but everybody like wears those white tunic type things in the future. It doesn't matter what show or movie you're watching. Like Time Machine. Did you see that movie?
Oh,
Time
yeah.
Machine?
Yeah.
Everybody's
H.G.
wearing the
Wells.
white tunics, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was
really
awesome.
odd.
That was great.
Yeah.
I think I was, well, you knew I was a big fan of Lost in Space as a kid, but I think that was kind of what I thought the future was going to be, I guess, was go to the moon or whatever and have the robot.
That robot's not far away.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually
well,
better robots
yeah.
now than that.
Better robots than that. Yeah. Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson.
Right. He had a little trouble rolling over rocks and stuff. But
Yeah.
now they have them with legs. They can just dance and do all kinds of crazy things.
They can run after you with a
Which
gun.
are exactly
Say
that's
dogs
what's
with
so
weapons on
frightening.
their back, and
You're watching them. You're watching them dance around to some song, and you're thinking, "My God, can you imagine what would happen if that had a weapon on it?" Oh
if he
no!
were angry.
All those Boston Robotics ads are so terrifying.
What
They're
could
supposed to be
possibly go
funny,
wrong? Yeah.
It's
They're
like two,
terrifying. They're like these massive pieces of industrial equipment walking around. It's like, what? Are you serious?
What else? What else we got?
I mean, I think the pills. Remember when Star Trek, you had like a pill you'd eat for food? So it was like, I think it was Star Trek or one of those shows. Hey, I think I'm going to have a roast beef sandwich, and you just eat this pill. Oh, that's delicious. And,
Yeah.
What show was that? Because they used to have the foods, the food replicators.
yeah.
Right, and Star Trek,
Right.
and you
And
would just
Star
open the
Trek.
thing, and whatever it was
Yeah.
you wanted would be there, and it'd be delicious.
Yes, but the pills. I remember the pills. I'm trying to think. What
Was
that
that
from.
was that Space 1999? Going way back?
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe.
Space 1999. I forgot about that one.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, Space 1999 is a show, a
Right.
British show.
Moonbase Alpha. I'm in
That's
some
right.
Facebook. I'm in some Facebook group that people talk
Yeah.
about.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
now
you
it
are?
Comes out.
Yeah.
Martin
Yeah.
Landau was in it.
Right. Yep.
Looking at it right now. Space 1999, the plight of the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha, a scientific research center located within the crater Plato on Moon's northern hemisphere. That's cool. I don't even remember that.
I don't
You can
either.
watch. I think they have episodes on. I'm thinking it's Amazon, so you can look that up.
It really makes you wonder, though. You know, we went to the moon, what? Is it 69, 70?
69.
69?
Yeah,
I
69
remember-
through 73, I think.
I remember watching that on television in Birmingham on our little TV in our den, I guess it was, or sunroom, whatever that was. And, trying to get it in good, to be able to see it with the antenna and then watching them walk on the moon. So we landed on the moon way back then, and we haven't done anything with that. I mean, we've gone to the moon. We went to the moon a few times and we're like, nuts to that. We're not going to the moon anymore. And I mean, we could have had Space 1999 built. We could have had Moonbase Alpha there if we'd have kept going and trying to put that together. But India just went there.
Yeah.
They became the, fourth country, I think, to make it. to the moon?
Yeah. Yeah. And Russia just crashed on the moon.
Yeah, they tried it right before India and didn't make it. Then India did it.
Putin's
So
just having a
that's-
bad time. Just a bad
Yeah,
time.
Russia's not.
Or
yeah.
Putin. Man, I feel bad for him. Everybody hates seeing him fail, too. It's so sad.
And the sad
Oh, I
part is,
know,
the
I
sad
know.
part is, I don't know how many members of his staff have become ill and had accidents. It's just,
I know.
I don't
It's
know
just
what
tragic.
it is.
Or
It is
an
tragic.
unfortunate plane crash. What a
Yes.
shame it would be if your
Yes.
plane was to crash.
If the guy that started a rebellion against your country that runs your private military were to be in an accident, yeah.
Oops, yeah, accident, right?
Just for the record, I'm a big fan of Russia, and Putin's a great guy. I'm the older of the four. My name is Gar.
We'll take this out in post, right? We're not gonna,
Comrade.
Vodka is my favorite drink of choice. I love cold weather. I don't eat very much food.
The Williams Brothers podcast is made possible by a grant from the Saunce Group. Do something good every chance you get. And by the Williams Foundation. The theme song is 5-Card Shuffle by Kevin MacLeod.
The moon is actually really interesting too when you think about it, because I'm watching this show about the moon, and I remember it talking about how the moon at one point was probably part of the Earth, and when the Big Bang happened, or everything blew up and all the chunks went everywhere, the moon broke off and started rotating around the Earth and however it became a sphere. I don't know. But what's cool about it is one side of it faces Earth at all times, and the other side does not. What are the chances of that happening? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I mean, that is bizarre.
I don't want to get too much on that tangent, but the moon has got so many oddities compared to other moons.
Mm-hmm.
It is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and 400 times closer to Earth than the sun, which means it gives it a perfect eclipse.
No, you're right.
And then it is also visually the largest moon for a planet. In other words, our moon from the surface of the Earth is larger looking than any other moon from their planet.
Right.
And it's just the proximity to the Earth is just really close.
That's a good point. What are the chances of having a moon that only faces your planet with one side and the other side is always dark, where it's rotating just perfectly so you never see that other side, and it's just the perfect size to black out your sun except for a little ring around the outside?
Yep.
I mean, what?
And then on top of that, there was one other thing that was really interesting, and I'm trying to remember.
The orbit.
Oh, the orbit is almost perfectly round, which other moons have elliptical type orbits, but our moon is it's not perfect, but it's as perfect as you are going to get. I mean, it's really close.
It's within 0.16% of being perfect.
Right.
That's what I'm reading here. I mean, it's it's so close, it's not even worth measuring.
So for me, it's like one of those things where if you think all this happened by accident, I don't think so. I mean, come on. How's that going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, all that, and it's made of cheese. That's the other part.
Right.
That just
all that
blows
cheese.
my mind.
Where did all the cheese come from?
Right.
Right. Well, that's how we got cheese, obviously. I mean,
so how do you divvy up the moon? I mean, if we go on the moon, we're going to have a base. How do you divvy it up with other countries? Is it like a board game? Do you roll dice? Or you just put a flag down and say,
we got there first.
We put a flag down. We were there first. It's ours. Yeah.
It'll be a war. It'll be an intergalactic war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how the Federation starts.
That's right. Yeah.